Still waiting for that perfect golden chance? Wake up! Years have already been wasted chasing comfort zones and daily dollars. AI's not waiting for anyone. It's sprinting ahead of us, faster, smarter, and sharper. In 10 years, it'll eat our jobs, our businesses, and definitely our excuses. Transformation, disruption, domination. Education re-engineered, property tokenized, communities reinvented. This is the decade of survival, and the One Real Tech is building the blueprint. Want growth? Get in. This is the decade where the average doer vanishes, but the bold ones, they build empires. No dependency, no pity party, no constraints, just freedom to create, to own, to flex, and to live louder than ever. This isn't some sci-fi film. This is now. The new reality, human with machine, vision with ownership. If we are not part of it, we are history. The next 10 years belong to the crazy ones, the doers. Stay in comfort and stay stuck, or get up and own the future. The choice is ours.
Hey, good morning, everybody from Southwest Florida. I'm Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger, and to be transparent and upfront, that's an honorary doctorate for advocate on mental and financial well-being and leadership in life transformation I humbly received in September of 2024. Welcome to season 2026 of Holistic True Wealth. And before I get started, please like, subscribe, and share your questions or comments with us from whichever platform you're watching us from today, whether it's LinkedIn, YouTube, or Facebook. We'd love to hear from you, and thank you. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. If you don't know who I am, I'm the CEO and founder of Abundance and Optimum Wellness and a certified holistic coach and your host for this transformative journey. I couldn't be more excited about this season because we have an incredible lineup of guests ready to share insights that can truly change your life, as many of them have changed my life during the last several years. And for those joining us for the very first time, I believe every one of us deserves to live a life of abundance and optimum wellness, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially. And as a certified holistic coach, I take a finance-first approach to achieving all-encompassing personal well-being. It's time to really rethink what true wealth means in today's world and explore new pathways that empower you to thrive in every dimension of life. I'm sure you'll agree that we're living in a time of a massive, massive transformation, a paradigm shift that's reshaping how we will be rebuilding our futures. And to move forward, we must embrace change and step boldly into those new ways of rethinking. My mission goes beyond business. It's about helping globally minded individuals break free from outdated systems and move from financial fatigue to financial freedom. Together, we're creating opportunities, expanding access, and building an inclusive digital world where everyone has a chance to prosper. Because true wealth isn't just about money. It's about having the freedom, tools, and the mindset to live your best life in full abundance and optimum wellness. And this season, my guests and I will uncover alternative solutions or even solutions that are working today that lead you to real transformation, guiding you from barely surviving to thriving. So before we get started in my introduction to my very special guest today, I'd like to take just a minute here to do a short commercial break here to give you a little idea about my journey since 2018 that will bring you into where I am today. And we'll be right back with my special guest. And we are back, and today's special guest is someone that I am both honored and thrilled to welcome, not only as a brilliant mind in her field, but as a friend and colleague whose journey has fully inspired me. Nicole Borghi is an immersive virtual experience strategist, that's a mouthful there, who transforms digital environments into high performance platforms. And drawing from her her executive background leading teams of over 200 people, Nicole now trains entrepreneurs and organizations to design virtual experiences that command attention, builds authority, and convert. She doesn't just teach strategy, she teaches leadership. Stop hosting, start leading online. Welcome to Holistic True Wealth, Nicole. I'm so thrilled that you are joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me. I love the bumper music. Woo! What a pickup. What a way to come in. I love it. I'm just imagining the red carpet.
There you go. You're on the red carpet. You're on the red carpet, girl. So before we dive into the questions, share with the audience today a little bit about who Nicole Borghi is outside of business.
Outside of business, that's a lot to unpack. But I'm just an adventurous person. I love to do new things, and the tech aside, my favorite things to do are to go hiking at the lake, to get the sunshine, to watch the crocodiles from above. When I go on the trail and hike, I found this really cool place, this little hill on the trail. And I guess the lake had been so much higher. And I go in there and I found these really like little tiny mini conch shells that I've been, digging in. And it kind of just gets my head out of the space of tech, because you can get so consumed into what we do, right? And into that dimension. So I'll go for a walk and just go like play in nature, dig in the sand, have a good time. And it's just fun to bring that back and just to get into the earth and check that out.
Awesome. Well, that's great. And you're a Florida girl. So we're 4 hours apart. So it's great to have you in the States. So let's dive in here because you got a lot to uncover for the audience today. And you actually went from managing teams of over 200 people in senior leadership to becoming an immersive virtual experience strategist. So what was a defining moment that made you really realize your executive skills could translate into the virtual world?
Well, when I look at it now, it sounds so great on paper, but I got pushed into the computer and the tech. I mean, I was born and raised in the 80s in Silicon Valley. It's Star Wars, that adventure. You've got the holodeck that we're looking at and all this cool tech stuff, and still playing with those big 7-foot fax machine with actual phone. You had to really dial the whole Pong. I mean, it was so exciting. And put that in with that alternative healing, like right where you spoke before about the alternative healing, the wellness path, the health, wealth, and wisdom, and the doctor that you were awarded with, which is so awesome. How are you using it? You're using it for something good. But taking that and coming into the tech and saying, hey, when I got into and started to embrace more of that different platform from the corporation point of view and just get pushed out into that, it was like, hey, what do? I really got away from the leadership, which, I'm recently kicking myself for going through more of a shadow spiritual journey and saying, yikes, I cannot believe that I tried to get rid of that identity and I wasn't having fun without it.
Sure.
I wasn't joking. I wasn't having a good time. Everything was serious. The world was ending. And I'm like, I'm just sitting in my living room. Why am I feeling like that's going to collapse? But it's the change of what to embrace with that. How can I lead not only from within, but on a business level to support people and give them value?
Awesome. That's great. And, we go through our journey, and there are diversions from time to time where we have to reassess what we're doing and reevaluate and see what is working and what's not working. And that's just part of it. So you've come a long way, baby, as they say. Your background includes leading large-scale operations under pressure. I know that from managing, 36 projects in corporate America and having teams over in India. But how has that experience of commanding the details while seeing the bigger picture influenced the way you train entrepreneurs to lead inside immersive spaces today? Because that whole paradigm, we're in that paradigm shift right now.
Right. And we're embracing it. And this is where we really connect, is the paradigm shift is, are we embracing the matrix, knowing that the tech is here? Michio Kaku talked about it years ago. And the only way we're going to succeed as business owners is to really embrace it, let the tech do its thing, and then find our creative purpose, because we can set it and forget it and walk away and be just in our creative mind, and still succeed financially. But really doing that and looking at the teams. I mean, I had several properties. I mean, we would have at a time several hundred properties. I was an area supervisor for a large security firm, and managing those properties, and each property had at least one security guard there. And then you're not just managing the property and the security guard, but there's all these kinds of people. I mean, think about it. If you got corporate buildings that people are leasing, or you you don't have how many are in that one warehouse, and then you have apartment complexes. So there's hundreds of thousands of people, and in the casino, there's hundreds of thousands of people. So looking at that can seem so maddening, but it's really the strategy and structure. And that's what I've started to bring now to my business with technology, that if you and when you're looking at coding and you're going deeper, there's so much more going on than you.
Right.
And it's your world. You're just a squirrel trying to get a nut in that. And it's this large world and the system, when we look at it from a matrix point of view, that we're commanding and controlling, and we're building it like a sim, and we're constantly evolving and changing within that metaverse structure. And then how do we have it? And if you look at it, there's just so large, but you start to unpack it and get really small. It's just you and I and this video camera.
Absolutely. And there's so many different levels within this space, and you can choose how deep you want to go, which is amazing, because you have those options available to you. So that's great, and we're going to continue to evolve inside these immersive spaces, because we're only just scratching the surface right now. So many of the entrepreneurs that are still hosting what you call a passive digital gatherings. So what are the most common mistakes you see people making when they step into virtual spaces, and how do you help them shift from that?
Well, great question, because you're really unpacking the strategy and the structure, and realizing that if you structure and build a foundation, whether you're illustrating a world in virtual reality, or you're just using a foundational tool like a Zoom, it is going to, once you have a smooth strategy in place and you build the foundation, even though you're building out each instance, each moment, you want to make sure that you're utilizing it at the smallest level. Is really, how are you influencing your audience, and how are you using that stage for a marketing tool? And when you start to bring that in, it's just a pattern of where you're not only engaging your audience, but you're supporting yourself financially, and you are making that passionate project into a profitable, powerful one. And it's just such an expansive visibility engine to use that for, and say, hey, how am I engaging with my audience, and what's the bottom point? I want leads so I can engage. And Alex Hormozi wrote that book on it, right? 100 million leads.
Right.
What are you doing with that, and are you nurturing that? Because some things can feel so cold and Spock and logical. We want to prop in, here comes Captain Kirk, and now you've got the essence of Mr. Charisma, right? Looking good in his uniform, and everybody's going to jump in.
No, that's really great. And you talk about marketing strategies. Marketing strategies are changing. especially with today's technologies. And many of us have to embrace those changes and really look at how can we best utilize those to be moving forward in this industry, which leads us right into a quick commercial break, because this is part of my new marketing strategy. I'm working the kinks, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and this will just give you an idea of what this is all about as we lead into the future. We'll be right back. Hi, many of us have realized the AI journey has officially begun. And those of us who've been exploring this shift early are realizing something important. We're not late, we're incredibly early. This technology is still in its infancy stages, yet it's already growing at an exponential rate. Here is the truth. Those who don't build even a basic foundation in artificial intelligence will be left behind as this acceleration continues. This isn't the future, it's the starting line, and we're just getting started. Do you agree with me? So there's a good big question for you, Nicole. It's just the starting line. Do you agree?
Just the starting line. Actually, I think that we've been on the start and that we are finally catching momentum as tech has caught up with us at this point in time, and that we are gaining the momentum, whether we're looking at it from a crypto level or a virtual reality level. What everything is finally that tech, and it's really simplified, and we're using it as a structure. Let's just ride that wave. Let's go.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. And you mentioned moving people through that influence and vision rather than force. So in a virtual environment where human connection can feel thin, how do you really teach leaders to create that kind of genuine influence?
So, really, it's from a leadership perspective. What's your main goal? Do you want to speak for applause? That's great. That you want to get on that Mind Valley. You want to get into that Tony Robbins, Lisa Nichols. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
But if you really want to move the needle and offer true solutions, whether you're looking at that portion of our world that is triggered, are we truly giving solutions, or are we just pounding our drum endlessly into the void? Right? If you're in a forest and you're screaming at the trees, nobody's hearing you. But if maybe you built a house for shelter, maybe you built a dam to get some water, what are you using, and what solutions are you providing? People in business need true solutions. They don't want the nickel and diming. They don't want the free PDF. They want you to move the needle to a thing or something. Maybe it's a group, maybe it's a workshop. So when you're starting to look at that from a different angle, and the stage is your marketing tool, we cannot do this free anymore, because woke doesn't mean broke. We're just giving our energy away, and it's just a spiral, and we're just chasing our tail. Or do we want to do something with it? If you make money, and we've had this conversation many times, if you start to make money and bless yourself with the abundance and the luxury, well, I'm getting chills just saying that, and the luxury that we're meant to have as beings, we can bless other people with that. And I think that is how we send that message. And wouldn't you love, all my events, I do for cause marketing. So the portions of proceeds goes to something. It's a nonprofit, but you could do that with your event, and then you're supporting something good. People get to really know what that is, instead of maybe something more like a United Way that's making a large profit. And if you've heard the stories, there's some crazy stuff going on. But wouldn't you rather support your community, whether it's puppies and kittens or buying gifts for your kids and your neighbors, taking a trip? Let's flip the script on that and start to bring, what is our goal? So it always comes back to our goal, and who are we helping? How are we helping? I think I can help you better by giving you money so you can live your life and be happy and healthy than I can if I'm just saying, hey, I'm going to wear you out and keep eating this bad bread, or keep eating that nasty cheeseburger. Stop putting the toxin in your body.
Exactly. Perfectly stated. I couldn't agree with you more. And it's I truly believe we're in really exciting times. I kind of resisted AI in the beginning, but the more I learn about it, the more I'm embracing it. Yeah, there's pros, there's cons, just like everything else. But what can you do as an individual entrepreneur, even a layperson, use with the technologies of today that will take you to the next level in your, professional or your personal, or a combination of both in those lives that you're, living today. So I do want to, jump into where you help clients use virtual events to build authority, grow their list, and scale with purpose. So can you briefly share just a transformation story of a client who went from surviving online to truly thriving on their own virtual stage?
Oh, sure. I've had a client, and someone that has been in the business of a brick and mortar for over 35 years. And it was a hard conversion because they would go out and talk to the neighbors, bring the community in, and they would go get a billboard and be on the radio somewhere. But this advertising is the same. You're doing a podcast. A podcast is your radio now, right? Your advertisement on your billboard is supporting someone else's event, or getting a page on their website, or getting, a little shout out at a networking event. So you're still doing the publicity tour, but how about bringing the publicity to you, your product, and the power partners you're supporting? So what they did was, when they hired me, the goal was to launch their power partners and give attention to the community and the membership that they were launching. And that was all built on structuring people's business online. So what a better way to share your online business tools by having a virtual online summit. It doesn't negate or take away from a live event. It's a great advertisement to a live event because people get little bits and nuggets of what you have and some takeaways. So bringing that to the stage so they can still concentrate on their business because they're launching a membership. That takes a bit, and it can be daunting when you have your product or you're putting your product out there. You don't have to have a brand new launch. You can relaunch something, or it's a larger commercial in a sense, to your products and your service, but you're given little nuggets. And when you bring other speakers to your stage, those speakers are supporting you, especially if they're your power partners, your membership, or they are business partners and clients. What a better way to say, hey, you're a great client. I love how you improved. I love your product. I love your service. Maybe they're a coach. Then you get to say, hey, Sally just graduated from my 6-week course, and now look at the profit that Sally's making, or the customer service she's providing, or she's now a crystal Reiki master and the good juju she's bringing. So you're edifying that group, and now you're all aligned, you're all collaborating. There is money exchanged. Hello. And you're building your business. But what a way to advertise and build your net worth and your network, right?
Exactly.
So it all equals the same, and it just shoots out. And you're growing your audience because the people you're bringing on the stage now are coming back to you as the event host. So they got to do that. And then they converted with the leads that they got. We talked and assessed a workflow campaign from the event before, the event after. The speakers are reaching out. The speakers are doing a thing. And then the audience gets some definite takeaways, and they get to talk to you. So bringing in a speaker panel or asking Q&A, doing some interviews with people, some publicity runs in live podcasts like we're doing here. And just, it was a huge marketing tool. So if you have that marketing budget, which you need to have in your business, you need to support that and put that out there. You're talking either a couple hundred to a few $1,000s versus several thousand you're throwing out on a Facebook ad that's not going to anyone, and you're just collecting data. You can collect data from LinkedIn, YouTube, your event. So why not keep your own data and not give it out to Facebook?
Perfectly stated. And your net base, and we've heard this before, your network is your net worth. So those two really join together in that. So you've brought us up to the end of the show. I can't believe it's just about over. In 30 seconds, give one nugget that you would encourage people in the audience that would help them take the next level in their life, personally, professionally, or a combination of both, before we wrap up today's interview?
Well, thank you. So building a stage is where your message becomes the center of the conversation. And instead of asking the question of why or should I, it's really starting to say to yourself, what stage does my message deserve? You know, really pinpointing, dig deep into that, I would say. Get on the stage, turn on the camera, just do it.
Awesome. No, that's great. Great advice there. And for those, I got to apologize. I forgot to put your banner up while you were talking, so I just put it up so to reach out to Nicole Borghi. You can catch her on LinkedIn. Definitely go out and check her profile. She has incredible information that she's sharing with her community. And is there any other places that people can reach out to you on social media, Nicole?
Yeah, really. LinkedIn's the best place to find me.
Okay.
I've got a YouTube channel. You just type in my name, Nicole Borghi, or Digital Creatrix. You'll find me there. But everything's on LinkedIn. It's a great place to play. And just reach out to me. I'd love to, DM me. Love to chat.
Awesome. Well, that's great. So as we're wrapping up here, I want to share that as an ex-software engineer, I was actually approached in 2009 with the opportunity to purchase 500 Bitcoin at 0.0017 cents. That's an 85-cent investment. And my response back then, nah, sounds like a scam. And today, Bitcoin is valued at as high as $130,000. So the paradigm shift is here. We're in front of that massive paradigm shift. And if you're open to getting some information, scan the QR code on the screen, and I'll provide you a link, in the comments as well. Scan the QR code, and if you're open to getting some information, because remember this, as we always hear, when we're growing up, the early bird always gets the biggest worm, and you don't want to be one of those ones who is saying, oh, darn, I wish I only listened to Jeff 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So scan that QR code, and I'd be more than humbled to have a conversation with you. I am Dr. Jeffrey E. Berger, your crypto blockchain strategist. Nicole, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show today and sharing your wisdom, sharing all that you have to offer. And I'm truly blessed and humbled to have you as a friend and a colleague in this industry. And thanks for showing up, and we'll see everybody on the inside next time. Thanks all.
What if property wasn't just bricks and walls, but pixels and blockchain too? 𝐷1 Realtech takes real estate digital and puts ownership right in your hands. Fractional ownership, real assets, blockchain trust. The future of property is here. And where does it all start? It starts with 𝐷1 Realtech, where you will learn how blockchain and real estate come together. One ecosystem, endless opportunities. Are you ready to step inside? From Harare to Abu Dhabi and across the world, 𝐷1 Realtech is connecting ideas, assets, and innovation, turning vision into value, dreams into ownership. 𝐷1 Realtech. Own it, live it, trade it,